It's for you, only for you. Oh no, it ain't nobody else's. No, it's for you, only for you. Oh no, it ain't nobody else's. No, oh no, it ain't nobody else's. It's just for you, and it don't matter if you're selfish. Just tell me what you want, I promise I'll listen. You're so deserving, come get all of these kisses. All of these kisses. Oh, it's for you, only for you. I'm not just talking, yes, I plan to show and prove. It brings me pleasure every time I'm pleasing you. Can't get no better, it's just better when it's you. It's for you, only for you. Oh no, it ain't nobody else's. No, it's for you, only for you. Oh no, it ain't nobody else's. No, oh no, it ain't nobody else's. I'm just addicted to the vibes and I can't help it. Before I met you, didn't know what I was missing. I'm here for you and everything that you're giving. We're so connected, anything you do will make me smile. You barely touch me and it drives me wild. When I see you, I'm gonna sit on top of you. Oh, I'm gonna sit on top of you. It's for you, only for you. Oh no, it ain't nobody else's. No, it's for you, only for you. Oh no, it ain't nobody else's. No.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, y'all? I am your girl, Candy, and I'm about to speak on it. Oh, my goodness. So, can I just start by saying I am so glad that was the finale and that this season has ended. When I tell you, oh, Lord Jesus, they done stressed me out this year, y'all. They done stressed me out. So, okay, let me go just give you a little bit. Like, I'm looking crazy right now, and I have gone live. Like, we do the lives where sometimes I'm just in the chat and I'm chatting with you as we have like a pre-taped episode that Jamie been able to do her thing on. But this time I wasn't able to pre-tape it because I was on family vacay this week. So right now it's just me and you. We out here. We gonna thug it out this way. I'm looking at you guys' comments. Did you guys like the show? Can we start there? Did you like the show? I liked the show. I want to go back through. I mean, tonight I was live tweeting, so I'm not sure if you guys were tweeting with me or not, but I was trying to get an idea of what some of you thought. I liked the show, but it was just stressful for me. It was stressful when we filmed it, obviously, because it was back-to-back drama, but it was stressful to even watch it back. Because obviously, when you watch it back, you hear things that you didn't know were said, or things hit you different, things that you may have gotten over. Now all of a sudden it's like you're annoyed by it again because you've watched it back and you have more information and you're looking at things totally different. I see somebody says, can you please slow down the chat? I'm not controlling it. I'm doing this through StreamYard. Jamie is actually controlling it. So Jamie, can you slow the chat down? I'm not sure if we can slow it down or not, but I can see you guys. So I'm going to read some of the comments. I got a super chat from Zelina Gilbert. Shout out to you. She says, I'm on the West Coast and I'm still here for the spoilers. Love you, Candy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I forgot. Spoiler alert for those of you who are on the West Coast and have not watched the episode yet. I am so sorry about that. I've been forgetting that you guys have not seen it yet, and everybody on this side of the country has already seen it. But I I have a lot to talk about. Okay. Now my team, they hate when I talk live because they feel like I share too much and I say too much. So I'm gonna try to keep it together. Yes, I have gum in my mouth. I'm sorry. But I'm gonna try to keep it together. But it was so much. Like, obviously it was a lot from the episode that we have to discuss. But then did y'all see Watch What Happens Live came on after the show, and Tasha and um Coco were guests together on the show. And I have so many opinions. I was like, should I keep my opinions to myself or should I say what I want to say? I have to say this. My first opinion. Okay. So as you guys, oh damn, this is gonna be a spoiler alert for the people on the West Coast. So everybody on the West Coast, close your ears right now. All right. So in the show, Xscape ended the show with understanding. Now, mind you, if you was watching the show, you can see, of course, people loved Weak, but they also loved Understanding. At the end of the day, the fans loved both shows. I mean, both songs, and nobody at the show was sitting there thinking should have went last. Nobody was thinking about that. All the fans just enjoyed the show. I mean, I guess you guys probably would think that now because you've been seeing this whole debate on social media. But obviously, back when we filmed this performance, none of the fans was thinking about that. They were just thinking, oh, we got our two favorite girl groups up here doing their thing. We got hit after hit after hit, and they was giving up for both groups, right? So anyway, I say that to say, on Andy's show tonight, of course he had to ask the question, Tasha, what did you think? Which song did you think should go last or whatever? He was saying he felt like Weak should have went last. That's what Andy said. Which, like I said, I don't know how he got that from watching the show, because when you watch the show, you see people like both songs. But either way, he can say that, right? But Tasha is in Xscape. This is my thing. Now, y'all know how I am. I'm going to go hard or go home for my group. It don't matter if we ain't getting along. It don't matter if they said something I don't like. They still my group. That's my group. That's Xscape. We are sisters, like, regardless of what we're going through. Tasha done got up on this man's show and talked in circles about how she felt about going last. I just didn't understand it. I was like, but girl, you was on the stage. You saw the people was going up for you. So why are you acting like you don't, like you may have thought it was a problem, or not that she thought it was a problem, but not even giving y'all a real answer on what she thought about understanding going last. She just kept saying, well, I really love Weak. Weak is a great song. Da-da-da-da. Girl, you are in Xscape. Just say how you felt on that stage. Even if she wanted to sit up and say, yes, the people gave it up for Weak, blah, 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 but the people gave it up when we were on stage doing understanding, blah, blah, blah. She give it. Can you never have your own groups back? Ever? 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 Like, that right there, it baffled me. It baffled me. Now, I can deal with that, when the other group says their feelings, because they're supposed to say their piece and speak up for their own group. And we supposed to speak up for ours. But when she don't do that, it just irks me. Ugh. So somebody said, what happened? Oh, Dre Adams, thanks for the super chat. He said, what happened to the speak on it with Tamika? Tamika, she went out of town this past week. I went out of town this past week. We both were on spring break. So unfortunately, we did not get to tape the episode because they only send us the episodes a couple of days before it airs. So it airs Sunday. We got the episode probably Friday, Thursday, Friday. And we both were in two different cities. So unfortunately, we couldn't film it together. But she said she wanted to do taping with me and Tiny. So maybe while we're out of town together this coming weekend, because we have shows this weekend in Chicago, and where else we at this weekend? Me, Tamika, and Tiny, we got shows together in Chicago. And hold on, I'm gonna tell you. Chicago and Detroit. I love both of those cities. So we're gonna be in Chicago and Detroit this weekend. So hopefully we'll be able to film something. So seeing as though you guys don't get a new episode of SWV and Xscape next weekend, maybe I could just give you a fresh episode of Speak on It and they can give you their full opinions of the entire season. Shout out to Mr. Speaks TV. He sent a super chat. He said, my fave. Thanks, babe. I love you. Shout out to the G list that says, sending you love, Candy. Proud of you for your career long success. Thank you. And King Pisces says, sending you lots of love from North Carolina. Been a fan, big fan since season 2 of RHOA and hoping to get the opportunity to meet you one day. Hashtag Candy Gang. Yes, much love to you. Okay. So let me get back. Simply Shamar sent a super chat. He says, with everything that happened on the show, do you feel that finally people could see who was the real catalyst for Xscape's initial breakup? I would have to say that I feel like a lot happened this season that I wasn't even expecting to happen, that I feel should have given a lot of people some backstory or, really backed up how I felt for all these years. I feel like it really showed so many people like, okay, so Candy ain't crazy. Like, they really be on some bullshit. Like the whole thing with Tasha and Rocky and what the stuff with Tamika, the whole thing tonight, as you guys saw, and that was the thing that I really could not wait for it to finally play out because, like, y'all got to remember, since last summer, Tamika and Tiny I got drugged during the Soul Train Awards last year because everybody was saying we were picking on Tasha, like we didn't give her the memo about the dress and all these other things. Now that you're watching the show, do you not see that she had a separate stylist who always made sure that she's dressed a little bit different than everybody else? Did we make that happen? Okay. So it was those little things I wanted people to understand. Like when you watch the show, it explains a lot. This whole thing with her husband, Rocky, aka Edward, or as Tamika calls him, Edward Stealing Hands. I didn't make that up. That came from Tamika. Okay, so to be clear, those were real text messages that the promoter screenshot from his phone and sent to Tamika. We can never, and I see Tasha on Watch What Happens Live. She's saying, like, oh, I just want to have a conversation. She wanted to talk to her sister about the stuff that Tamika, the receipts that Tamika posted. But even with the receipts that we gave to you as a group, you never address it. You never give us clear answers. You never can just be like, yeah, I understand why y'all would feel a way about this, even if she wants to give an explanation for it, just acknowledge the fact that it don't look right. Okay. So I want to clear up because I feel like there's so much to clear up. But I want to clear up. Let's start from the top of the show because in last week's episode ended with us showing her the text messages from the promoter saying that her husband was getting a kickback. And I know it showed the interview clips on this episode where her husband says that he didn't get no kickbacks and something about if he get the deal. Or at first he said, and there are no no text messages about Xscape between him and the promoter. He said, well, my text message is supposed to say the same thing his text messages said. And my text messages don't say nothing about Xscape. That's what he said. Then they came back around and said, well, if I do the deal, then that's not a kickback. I did the deal. But my thing is, so what are you saying exactly? Are you saying that you did get a fee from the promoter? Are you saying that you didn't? It was like too much circle talking for me. Like, then Tasha says, well, if somebody gets an opportunity, then, they get percentage. No, that's not why I've been there. Now, I can't say what they do when it's just Tamika, Tiny, and Tasha. When they did shows, just three of them. I'm talking about when it's all four of us. Nobody's supposed to be getting any side fees without everybody knowing. First of all, if she's talking about if somebody just bring that, okay, I was the one who had the promoter from our Great Xscape tour who brought him on board, who talked to him and made sure he gave us the percentage deal that we wanted. Which as she's told everybody, we were able to make millions together on that tour. I didn't get no kickback. I didn't get no extra fee. And if I had, please believe all hell would have broke loose. Okay. They would have went in. Okay. So I'm like, since when is it okay to, for our whoever your people are to get an extra fee on the side? Okay. There are other shows that have because mind you, if you're in the group, people are going to call you all the time and be like, hey, how can I book your group or whatever? Or how can I book Xscape to do this or do that? And basically what I have done, which I thought is what everybody else was doing, is like, okay, well, here is the contact to whoever our representation is at the time that it was brought up. Okay. So at the time, I don't want to say the manager, we had a manager. They should have been dealing with all that. I don't even know why her man should have been involved anyway. If he had talked to somebody who wanted to book it, he should have just did what we do. Now, mind you, the Mary J. Blige tour not tour, but the festival that we did in Atlanta last year, that was somebody that Don Juan spoke to. He sent the number over to our team for them to Xscape's management for them to handle it. He didn't get no kickback. He didn't get no extra fee. That's just one example. There are many times that, we all, not just me, but each one of the group members have had opportunities or different bookings that people wanted us to do that we just send the number to send it on. Because if you go and start doing this, the people in the group can start doing side deals on the group, for whatever they bring in. So that means that can end up not being fair, meaning that could mean I could say, well, I'm only going to do shows with whoever's giving me some extra side money. If I'm able to create a situation where that we have side money being able to be paid to different members or their separate teams, that's crazy to me. It needs to stay clean. Nobody should be getting any money that everybody doesn't know about or everybody isn't privy to. Simple as that. DJ Richie Sky, what's up? Send a super chat. Thank you, love. He says, what would it take for you to do season 2? And can you ask Bravo to give us a Secrets Revealed episode? And he says, y'all sang down last weekend in DC. Thank you. I'm mad that I didn't see you out there. How come I didn't get to see you, DJ Richie Sky? You didn't come backstage. I mean, we should have made that happen next time. But well, first of all, there has not been a conversation about doing a season 2. This was supposed to be a special, like a one-off thing. Nobody's had a conversation about that. I'm not saying that they may not possibly come back to have a conversation about it, but it has not been a conversation. Besides, I don't really know if Xscape and SWV is on the same page to be talking about doing those season 2. This whole shout out to Ansel D'Angelo, send a super chat. Thank you. He says, Candy, you absolutely murdered that note and understanding during the performance. It was everything. Thank you. Reggie's Expressions says, we love you. How did y'all finally get on the same page with the performance? This was stressful. I hope you can relax now. Saw you in Orlando and loved it. Thank you. Okay, so let me tell y'all. They always be leaving so much. So there could have been, and there should have been, some extra episodes because they cut so much out of this show that really, shout out to MJ. She says she already got her Orlando tickets because we coming back to Orlando. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet to Orlando show, you should go get them. Anyway, sorry, y'all. I had gum in my mouth. I was trying to hide it, but it's taken over. So basically, there was so much left out of this season. So to go back into how we came onto the same page. So they show SWV saying to us, oh, we decided that it was too much back and forth, so we just gonna let understanding in. And they just went on past that. But what they do have us on camera saying, which I'm shocked they left that out. Well, I'm not shocked. It was too much. They didn't have time for all the stuff that happened to put in this last episode. But so they never introduced you guys E-Will. So E-Will was our music director. He's actually SWV's music director, but they brought him in to be the music director for the show. So he's the one who actually played the music. Steve, who they showed you, he put everything in the Pro Tools and arranged the show or whatever, but E-Will was the actual person who played the music and did all of that. So E-Will, he was brought in. They cut him out of the scene. Remember when they showed me, Steve, and Coco in the studio trying to come up with the set list? Well, there's actually more footage of that scene where E-Will is on the screen, on the Zoom with us in that scene, and so is Tasha. They took all of that out. But anyway, after that meeting, E-Will had said that he was going to try to figure out a way to do a mashup of both Understanding and Weak. He was going to try to figure out how to match the songs together, even though we always kind of like, how is that going to work? Anyway, because the SWV was saying they didn't want to do the show if they didn't get to end it, and we was just kind of like standing on the same thing. He came back later over the weekend. I was like, yo, like, what did you decide? Because we need to be letting people know if this is not going to happen. He said to me, he was like, yeah, understand it. It's just going to end it. He's like, I just feel like it's just going to be better that way. I was like, are you sure? Because he's their music director, and I didn't want him to be getting in trouble with them. He was like, oh, nah. He was like, I just think that's a better way to do it. He was like, Weak is a dope ass song. He was like, but Understanding just feels like he was saying the message of the song and everything. He felt like that is the way that it should end. So we was like, okay, cool. I said, okay, cool, whatever. And he was like, he was going to tell SWV. So we get back to the rehearsal, and in the rehearsal, SWV is like, yeah, we decided that we're just gonna let you guys come. So that's why we was all looking at each other like, oh, y'all decided. Okay. Because we was like, they did not decide that. E will decided that. But it's cool. I just felt like this show kind of set us up as a group to look like we were the only ones that had the mess. We were the only ones that had the drama. We were the only ones that really had the issues or whatever. But at the end of the day, both groups were standing on the same things. Like both groups wanted the same thing. So I didn't understand why everybody was so upset with us for saying what we wanted. We never, went back and forth with them. We never raised our voice at them. We never did any of that. We just said basically stuck to what we wanted. And at the end of the day, it ended up how we wanted it to be, which was fine with me, obviously. but 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 I don't think anybody was hurt in the process. The reason why I say that is because the show turned out great. Like all the fans were happy through the entire show. Like the other thing they didn't even show y'all, which I guess they couldn't because they wouldn't have been able to clear songs. Ti performed in the middle of our sets, so it was like as the SWV escape, SWV escape, SWV escape. It was hit after hit after hit. Okay, and then Ti comes out in the middle of the show and did like a whole 15-minute set of his hits. And then it came back on SWV and then us and SWV and then us and SWV like that. So when I tell you the fans got their entire life, okay? Nobody was upset. Nobody was mad. The fans were happy. I don't even like it really kind of made this whole thing feel like we still should have been able to end on a good note. I mean, I know at the end when they were like, "Oh, would y'all do it again?" and they asked me, I was like, "Yeah, of course." I was like, I did not understand why Coco was like, "You would do it again." I'm like, "Yeah, like why wouldn't I?" I didn't think like for me, I don't think they understand how for me, like none of that was like personal. It was all just strictly business for me. Like when we were talking about the things that had to deal with the show. Like I don't know why they felt like I was just so engulfed in it. My drama in this whole situation was with my own group. It was not really with SWV. So I didn't understand why they didn't think I would want to do the show again. I was like, I would definitely do this performance again. But I would have done it differently, meaning what we originally wanted to happen, well, at least when I was talking to Tamika and Tiny, and I thought what Taj was saying was that we wanted the show to be more interactive, where, like, say for instance, um, maybe sometimes they would sing on some of our songs, we sang with them on some of their songs, those type of things. Shout out to Dakari Armstrong. Strong. Thank you for the super chat. He said, enjoyed meeting you at OLG. Enjoyed meeting you too. Shout out to you. But anyway, I just kind of felt like it this whole thing is a waste because it really could have been the start to a great tour, but apparently our attitudes just couldn't come on the same page. The other part of that is, oh, shout out to SWV. I know they are, I guess Jodeci is going on tour and taking SWV and Drew Hill with them. Um, that's going to be a great show. Much love to them. I'm glad that everything worked out with them. And so now the cat's out the bag. Y'all know the SWV and Xscape are not touring together. Okay, shout out to Larry Reed. Oh, that's a big super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Larry. He says, do you want it to stay 4? And if it stays just 3 girls, could Latasha legally keep you guys from using the Xscape name? That's a good question. Okay. So as far as it being 4 members, as of right now, it's just 3. it's just a lot of drama and a lot of things that we need to work out. The stuff that was showed on the TV show, we never had any answers. Clearly, we have no answers to none of that. They're just acting like those text messages never existed, as if the promoter made it all up. And it's just like mama didn't raise no fool child like that. I need a better explanation than what you're saying. So it's no clarity on that situation. So I don't know how we get back on the same page to make it 4. Um, am I totally against it ever being 4 again? I would say, I would say that we just got a lot to work through. I feel like our group has been through so much that I guess there's nothing that we could not get through because we have been through so much. But at the same time, child, we need Ayana to come fix our life. It is just, it's deep. It's deep, very deep. So that's that as far as the 4. Right now, it's only going to be 3 people for a while. And as far as the name, legally, Tamika and Tasha own the name. They trademarked the name, just the 2 of them. And when we first started doing shows without Tasha, which was, I guess, the first one we did was last summer during the filming of this show, we asked our representation, which is our agent, who he's just been sitting in for us as management for now. He reached out to the manager that was managing Tasha and asked her, how does she feel about us using the name? And the manager said, go ahead, y'all fine, y'all can use the name, whatever. A little while later, when I don't know, I guess it was after a couple more shows started coming in when it was just 3 of us. Tasha hit us on the group text. This was before she changed her number. And was like, so what we doing about this name situation? Because when Candy wasn't doing shows with us, y'all, she didn't want us to use the name, or she wanted us to use a different name. So what y'all gonna do? And basically, we just said to her, okay, well, our management, well, not manager, our agent, he sent us a screenshot of the text between her manager and him. So I sent that to her in the group text and said, well, your people said it was okay for us to use the name. Well, what do you want us to do? And she said, all right, well, cool. Like basically like whatever. I guess she was just cool with whatever her management had said at that time. Now, will she change her mind and come back later and say that she wants us to use a separate name? I don't know. And with her and Tasha, her and Tamika both being owners in the name, how does that affect things? Can they both use it? I don't know. Back when they decided to do Xscape 3, so let me just be clear so y'all understand why I wanted them to differentiate Xscape 3 from Xscape. We were just coming off of the Great Escape tour and they wanted to continue to do shows. The reason why I couldn't do the shows at the time was I went straight into doing Broadway because that was 6 years ago, back when I did I was in Chicago on Broadway. So I was just, they had did a couple shows and it was people hitting me online like, why didn't you come to the show? You didn't show up, blah, 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 blah. So I was saying to them like, yo, like y'all need to let people know that I'm not a part of this. Like y'all can't be doing these shows and not telling people that I'm not going to be there. So that's how it came about that they were, they made the Xscape 3 so that people would know, okay, if it's Xscape 3, Candy's not going to be here. So that's what happened. And I guess now she feels like, well, y'all had to do that, so now what we doing? So I don't know what we gonna do. We'll figure it out in a little while. I guess we'll see. Shout out to I Am Leo Aries. $5. She said she sent a super chat. Thank you. She says, I love the show. I don't want a second season for y'all's sake. A tour would be great. Love your business acumen. Um, I have learned so much. Well, thank you. Tanika Washington says, "Love Xscape. Can't wait to see you perform live. Remain humble, keen, and kind, Candy." I didn't feel like a lot of people thought I was kind. A lot of people said I had an attitude. A lot of people said that which I didn't understand it. Okay, so did y'all watch on this show? It was so funny. They were the ones that were doing all of the complaining, all of the like. They was the ones that was saying they wanted to fight. And to be clear, I know a lot of people's like, y'all was just letting them say that. If you go back and watch the show, you can see Tamika Scott. My ears were covered by my hair, but if you see, you could see like the little gold that was in Tamika's ear. Our in ears were in. So unless you were talking in the microphone, we didn't hear you. So when Coco was behind me saying all this stuff about her medicine and all this stuff, I didn't hear any of that. I know people are saying like Candy's face is saying this and that. I wasn't saying anything because I didn't hear what she said. Now, when Taj was talking, she was talking directly to us face to face, so we knew she was saying stuff to us. But all the other stuff, I didn't hear what was going on. I'm kind of glad I didn't because I didn't. I'm glad it didn't become a back and forth between the groups. You know, there's no arguing, not on our parts. Anyway. Oh, shout out to Larry G. Send the super chat. They said, "Can't wait to see you on Friday on my birthday." Shout out to you. Happy birthday, early birthday. There is so much to say. Shout out to Helen Davis Williams. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, let me see. So many of you guys chiming in. Eric Kean says, "Thank you for the super chat." Says, "Candy, when Coco in the playlist scene made mention of the slowdown from Xscape's mini ballads, why don't you ladies perform Do You Know That's My Jam?" Well, a lot of times we try to stick to the hits or whatever, or the singles. Now, when we have a longer show, of course, we sometimes add other songs that weren't singles to the show, and we can change it up at any time. But in this particular show, we was doing our show with SWV. The show went them, us, them, us, them, us, them, us. There was never a moment where it felt like the show was dragging. It almost pretty much was a show filled with nothing but hit singles. So I don't really think anybody cared about anything being slow. It was one of those shows where you could literally sing every song because every song was pretty much a song that everybody knew, you know. Jaden says, "Saw y'all BS at the Great Escape tour, and they told us not to touch y'all before we took pics. And the first thing you did was reach out to me and hug me. I just love you." Oh, thank you, Jaden. I try to show love to people that show love to me. You know what I mean? And I appreciated you guys, everybody that came to the meet and greets. I thought it was dope. Make it make sense. Thank you for the super chat. Says, "Came to show some support. We need more episodes of this show. First real reality show I've seen in years. The straight shooters are in the house." This definitely was a real reality show. Like nobody was holding back. I don't think it was definitely intense reality show. I feel like that about season one. Well, not season one, because it's not like these were consecutive shows, but this Xscape still kicking it. If you did not see that one, you might want to go back and watch that. It was so intense because like with my group, we have so much that be going on. Like a lot of y'all don't never see that side of my life. You see all the stuff that be happening on Housewives, and I got a whole nother life outside of Housewives, right? So with Xscape, it's just always something. But y'all normally don't get to see it. You know, it's just a whole part of my world that I'm dealing with that, you know, people don't normally get to see. And this kind of gave you like an inside look on a lot of things. And it was a bit much. I don't know. Like, I don't know if any of our group members, I mean, Tiny, she fine with doing it again because she didn't really have a lot of heat on her. But I mean, I know it was a lot for Tamika and Tasha. I mean, that just that stress between the two of them and their family, I know they've dealt with a lot. Shout out to Nicole Harris. She sent a super chat. She said, Mims sent us. Shout out to you. Next season, let's have a new group. Black 702, TLC, Latoya, Destiny's Child, and Vogue, etc. Replace SWV. It's up to Bravo. Shout out to Clara Ellis. She says, Don Juan is the voice we all need in our heads. Sending love from Cincinnati. Hashtag Candy Gang. Hey, I love that Candy Gang. Okay, so listen, y'all. I don't like the fact that people always want to give heat on Don Juan. Y'all wish y'all had a Don Juan in y'all life. Like when I tell you that Don Juan goes hard for me, but he goes hard in business, and you need good business people on your side who are not afraid to speak up, tell you the truth, state the facts. And y'all can say what y'all want to say. I don't even understand when people talking about, oh, he's in women business. No, he was exactly in what he was supposed to be in. My business, music business. That's what he does. Hello. So, some of that stuff, that things that people were saying online, I wasn't feeling it. Oh my goodness. The mental fit chick. Much love to you. She sent a super chat. She says, Candy, do you feel as if Latasha is reacting the way she is because of not feeling noticed early on? Also, what are your thoughts on Rocky stating in an interview years ago that they sat back and watched y'all make money? I didn't see that. But first of all, I don't know why. I don't think Tasha feels like she wasn't noticed. I mean, I don't know what she felt. Let me just say that when we were growing up. I mean, I know she said that she didn't like the way that people saw her or whatever when they would say things about her weight and all of that, which I can see how that would be annoying. But as far as to how she may have felt, I mean, I can't really speak on that. All I can say is that we all felt a certain way when we was growing up. All of us went through different things that, you know, we were all in our own inner turmoil, I guess. So I don't know what she felt. And then as far as him sitting back and watching us make money, how are you sitting back and watching us make money? It's like when the group separated and when she wanted to do her solo thing, I mean, what did they want us to do? Just sit around and go broke? Like, we had to figure it out. Like, they put us in that position where the rest of us had to separate and figure it out and make something shake. And that's what we did. Like, I don't understand how he could say they sat around and watched us make money. Like, and as far as my time with the group, there's never a time that I've been with the group where we haven't split everything equally. So even as now, I hope y'all know this. All this stuff about the followers and stuff, I'm not the one who bring up the followers. They bring up the followers. I don't bring up the followers. But they always want to bring up the followers. But at the end of the day, even with all the followers, I still split equal money with my group. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell him. I don't know what he means. He sat around and watched us make money. Know about that. Okay, so Steph Boogie, much love to you, says at times it felt like Xscape was simply negotiating their terms and SWV responded from a personal standpoint. Exactly. Exactly. That's how I feel. I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand even watching the show back, and I'm like, they were so offended. And I saw, Coco's like, anytime somebody say no disrespect, that means you're about to disrespect me. And I'm like, but how was I disrespecting you? Like, because I said that we wanted to go last? She said the same thing. So where's the disrespect? Because I said that we wanted to continue to headline our shows? That's business. Like, I didn't change anything. I don't understand what everybody is was so in their feelings about. Like Don Juan said to me, he said that maybe somebody brought it to them differently before, when they agreed to, do the television show. He said maybe they brought it to them differently, like maybe their understanding was different, like, oh, maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody said, oh, you guys are gonna split everything equal, y'all gonna do this thing equally, I don't know, maybe that was already stated to them, so maybe that's why they were offended when we said something different. I don't know, that's just him taking a guess. I don't know what it was. Anyway, Dee Dee loves Ace. I don't know what that ASMR and more. Much love to you. She said, my first super chat was red. Love you though. Much love to you. Oh, this is something else. Somebody asked me on Twitter earlier. They wanted me to explain. They said that how I've said before, this was brought to us that it was going to be a tour. And they said that SWV said they didn't know anything about this. So I am confused. So basically, Mona is the executive producer of the show. She definitely, the TV show was about doing the one performance at the end, but they were saying to us that this was going to be like a catalyst for that performance to be like the promo for the actual tour. So basically, if we would have did that performance, and let's say everything would have went the way that it should, then at the end of this season, we would have been announcing, oh, Xscape and SWV going on tour. That's the way that it was brought. That's what had been told to us, right? And I'm not just saying it like I don't know what I'm talking about. It was a real thing. The promoters were talking because, like I said, our group was going through issues with our manager. So that's why we were having direct conversations. But I know me, Tamika, and Tiny had direct conversations with 2 or 3 promoters about the tour. They also had conversations with SWV's manager, and they were talking to them, saying, trying to figure if they could work out a tour, because basically somebody had to pay for that big show that we did at the end of the performance. Bravo didn't pay for that. The big concert that we did at the end. And, most promoters get like a few months out to promote a show. They didn't get much time. They only had like a month to promote that show. So we went into it knowing that whatever promoter did that performance was going to be coming in at a loss. So basically, the promoters were kind of using that to say, okay, well, if we pay for this performance for you guys to be able to do a show, then we want it to become a tour. Get it? You understand what I'm saying? So that's where the whole conversations of tour came from, because the promoter who was putting on the show was doing it in hopes that we were all going to agree to do the tour from that show with whoever that promoter was. So it didn't work out that way. We ended up not doing it because of all the drama that ended up happening. But in the beginning, those were the conversations that were being had. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Miss Era, much love to you. Thanks for the super chat. She says, hi, Candy, love you. How can the group really move forward with Tasha after her husband stealing from the group and she knew? Hashtag Team Candy Gang. Child, that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Everybody wants to know, like, how are we supposed to move forward? I want to know how we supposed to move forward, because it's a real thing. This is the first time, like, we've heard it before. We've heard from other promoters, different people that, he was getting kickbacks or he was asking them for extra money or whatever to, to see if he could hook them up or whatever. We've heard that before, but this is the first time somebody sent proof. And it was proof in the form of a wire transfer receipt. They didn't show that to y'all. It was like the text message, and he sent copies of a wire transfer receipt. to Rocky's company. In the for section, it said for Xscape. So it wasn't like it was a guess. And at the time, he was saying that, oh no, he gave me that money for a different artist. And we like, but no, it says Xscape on this wire transfer receipt. Hello. Shout out to Arabella Bobrin. Sorry for mispronouncing your last name. She says, love you. You all need to come to Colorado. Ooh, that would be nice. I would like that. Yeah, y'all. It's like so much, like it is so much. Oh my gosh, it is so much. It is so much. It is so much. Barbie D Barb send a super chat. Much love to you. Says, good evening, Candy. How was your day, love? Whew, my day was good. It was a long ride back from Orlando. We had a road trip today. That's why I'm looking a miss. A miss. Okay. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Trevor Mitchell says, oh my gosh. I can't read your super chat, honey, because I'm not talking about her. But much love to you, Trevor. Donzi Riv says, Escaping SWV deserve flowers. I'm coming to Miami on June 15th. Much love to you. Yes, we have a show in June in Miami. Cannot wait. There's so much going on. Like these chats is moving, honey. Ooh, it's a lot being said. Okay. The mental fit chick says, thanks for the super chat. She says, how do you cope mentally after filming? What does Candy do to decompress? Okay, so let me say, I did not do a good job of coping after I finished filming SWV Xscape show. Reason being, I had to go straight into filming Housewives. So I had an extremely stressful end of 2022. It went straight from Xscape straight into, straight into a RHOA. And I had a lot of arguing and a lot of problems and issues going into season 15 of Housewives. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe I could have been a little bit more laid back or let things slide a little bit more if I wasn't already had all this tension built up from the one last show that I had just finished filming. So yeah, it was just, I just had kind of finished the last year with this feeling of like, I'm not taking any mess off of anybody say something to me, I'm letting them have it. It was like really, I was really giving that type of energy at the end of 2022. And it wasn't good. It wasn't. So sometimes I think you definitely have to have like at least a couple weeks off between shows because that's not good. Lisa Bakir says, I'm in the UK and I loved your song. Thank you. Thank you. Olivia Leslie says, hey, Candy, is it possible for you guys to add the song Hard to Say Goodbye to your song list? That's one of my favorite songs, and I saw y'all perform it on YouTube, and it was fire. Oh, thank you. You know what? We have talked about it recently. So we may add it to some of the future shows, depending on how long the show needs to be and stuff like that. Y'all. Oof. So much going on. So, I mean, have I answered all the? It was a lot of questions. I'm trying to get to more of you guys' questions. KF Marie says, I'm glad all the unnecessary hate for Candy has been exposed. The lies, child. So, let me see. Okay, Jamie wants us to be done. She says, oh yeah, okay. So check out our performances. We got a lot of performances coming up. Super excited. I see some people saying it was a mess. Overall, at the end of the day, after all of the arguing and the back and forth we did, the concert ended up being great. And I think that's always the saving grace between, even with our own group. It's like we do all this arguing, but we end up getting on stage together and it turns out good. So, same thing happened with us in SWV. Oh, shout out to Kills881 says, thank you for the super chat. Says, hi, Candy. Love you and the group. Keep doing your thing. Are you going to release only for you? That snippet we got shows it's definitely a banger. Continued success in all your endeavors. Thank you. Actually, I definitely want to release it. I keep telling Don Juan, we have to get it mixed. It's not even mixed yet. So I gotta get it mixed and maybe do like a little sexy video or something. Yeah, I definitely want to drop it. Thank you for that. I do get a lot of people, this whole Billy Goat bullshit has taken a life of its own. And it's like people are like, oh, she can't sing, oh, she can't sing, oh, she can't sing. And it's just kind of like, okay. But I definitely think I want to go ahead and drop the song. I want to do it. Yeah, let's make that happen. Shout out to Helen Davis Williams. Thank you for the super chat, love. It's so much love, much love. TXU Music Man says, hi, Candy. Huge fan of Xscape, SWV, and TLC. All the 90s girl groups. You guys are doing phenomenal as a trio. The fans are behind you. We pray for y'all's peace of mind. Tell Tamika it's going to be all right. Much love from Texas. Much love. Glenna Lawrence, tomorrow's her birthday. Shout out to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to everybody out there. Hey, Siobhan Bartley. Much love to you. Todd is trying to call me. Tiana Johnson says, when are you releasing that song? Don Juan, I hope you listening. They want us to hurry up and release the song. We got to get it done. Miss Callie says, Andy was being shady towards you. Andy was coming with some bullshit today, wasn't he? Hold on. Todd's trying to come. Babe, I'm on live. What's up? I'm almost done. All right, okay, bye. He wants us to watch movies together. Oh, Paige says, just love y'all. Seeing you all perform tonight brought tears to my eyes. Did it? Thank you. That's the only reason why I really hate that this whole situation went the way it did. Because for one, for the show, us and SWV, we got along great. So I hate that we are not on the same page anymore. And two, it really could have been a real good concert or a good tour or whatever. I hate that it didn't work out. Because when we did the performance, it was dope, going back and forth, like with the hits, like them doing theirs, us doing ours, them doing theirs, us doing ours. And it doesn't really matter, like, when people were there, like I said, I don't know if you missed the beginning of this, but the people that were actually at the concert, they didn't know anything about this bickering that we were doing about whose song should go last. So they did not care which one of us sang last. They went up for both songs. Like everybody was going crazy all the way through the concert because we were singing all the songs that they love. Oh, listen, this Tiny call. Tiny, I'm on live. Tiny. Hello? Hello? Oh, she calling me, but then that must be a butt dial. Anyway. So that was that. So I guess, wait. And Keisha L says, does Xscape drama upset hurt you more than RHOA? Oh, for sure. I have said it again and again. I am so much more emotional about my group, our drama, than what? Now, where Carmen won't? Carmen, I'm on live. Hello? Oh, wait. Now, why is everybody butt dialing me? Hello, Tiny? Oh, Tiny, you listening to me right now? Hello? Now, why are they calling me? And I can hear me talking in the background. So they're watching, but calling me. Why are y'all Hello, Carmen. Hello, Tiny. Oh, Tiny calling back. Tiny,
It's a delay.
you gotta mute your computer. Can you mute your computer? Hello?
Hello.
Can you mute your computer? So I don't have to hear
I
me
ain't
in
on the
your
screen. I'm
background.
just calling from my phone.
Can you hear me?
So yeah, I'm just on my phone. I ain't on no computer.
Oh,
Oh, you want me
okay.
to mute my phone? Okay,
No,
look.
no, I don't
Yeah,
want
I
you to
got
mute
you
your
now.
I don't want you to mute your phone. What did
I
you
mean
have
my
some
TV.
did you have something you
Yeah.
want to tell to the people?
I mean, you done said every damn thing. I've been watching, and I'm appreciating you giving all the info here. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought about getting on here, getting my ass on here. You know what I'm saying? But you done said everything, so I ain't gonna say shit else. But and I got good game over here, and she wanted to holler at you. So hold on one second.
While I'm on live?
You know I love you. I just want to say hi.
Oh, hey, I love you too.
How you doing?
I'm good. Okay, I'm gonna call y'all back when I get off this live.
Okay, we love you.
Love you, bye. Tiny's so funny. And then Carmen over here trying to call. What does Carmen want? Let me call it back. Let me see what she said to say. Ah, y'all, this has been a day. I'm so glad this show over with, though. That's what I will say. Oh, Don Juan wanted me to tell y'all something.
Hello, child.
Hey, are you wanting to say something to the people? Because you're live.
Oh, okay. So you did not address the question I told you to say.
What's the okay? Carmen said I didn't address something. What didn't I address?
Okay, so every time Tasha comes on, she's always saying she's hearing about the 30K with us.
Mm-hmm.
So she never heard about this ever before.
Oh,
Said her mama knew about it.
gotcha. Okay. So to Carmen wants to know. She says that every time she sees Tasha being interviewed, like she was interviewed tonight with Andy on Watch What Happens Live, she said that she always says she's just now hearing about the 30K. And she's saying she never heard about it before. Okay, well, according to Tamika, that's not true. Tamika said she definitely said something about it back when it first happened. And she definitely had the conversation with her mom about it a long time ago. Now, mind you, this situation did happen years ago. So maybe she probably felt like the subject was dead since Tamika let it go and hasn't been talking about it. Maybe she was thrown off by the fact that Tamika is now bringing it back up. Maybe I don't know, but I do think it is weird for her to say that she's never heard about it. But the part that I found even more strange is like, okay, Andy asked Tasha about the receipts that Tamika posted on her YouTube for the money that was taken from her. Now, oh yeah, you still on the phone. Okay. Yeah, okay. So the part that I think nobody pays attention to, after you guys get off of my speak on it, go to Tamika Scott's YouTube page and watch the video where she shows the receipts because she holds them on the screen for a long time. When she shows that Tasha and Rocky, whoever, had changed the paperwork to have her check sent to them, Tasha's signature is on there. So my thing is, even if you want to say you don't know where the money at or whatever, you have to acknowledge that your signature is on this paper that your sister posted. Like she's saying that she saw. Yes, her email address. I don't know if she got a new email address, but the old one is on there. Like all their information is on there. Like she didn't. I don't believe Tamika scratched it out before she put it up because I watched the same thing everybody else watched. So if you go back to Tamika's thing, and she shows where on the check somebody signed her name and his name is underneath it endorsing the check. So to me, if Andy is asking you about the receipts that your sister posted, I get it. That was like a politically correct answer, I felt like she gave. Like she answered it without really answering it. But it's just kind of like, okay, you saying you didn't know any. Right. It was so confusing. I'm like, how are you going to say, even if you want to say that you never knew anything, which I don't believe that to be true, but you say you never knew anything, how do you at least explain? Yeah, how are you not concerned that your signature is on this paper that your sister has posted that shows you signing your name? I was confused.
Jamie is done with us.
Tasha, what Jamie over here? Jamie mad that I see. They say I overshare.
Talking. She told me goodbye.
She told you to stop talking to me. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Bye, Carmen. Okay. So I had to answer Carmen's question because I guess I had a call in tonight. Yeah, I don't know. Don Juan is telling me to finish right now. He wants me to shut up. Okay, yeah, because if I stay on live, I'll start telling too much of the business, honey. So anyway, as I was saying, thank you for all the support. Once again, you know what? Even with all this drama going on, I still want y'all to listen to Tasha's album, download it, stream it. It just came out Friday. She is very talented. Support her music. Our group go through BS all day long. All day long. Like this, if you can believe it or not, we got some even crazier stuff that y'all still ain't even heard. So with that being said, understand I'm used to this circus. So I don't want it to affect her music. If she's happier doing her thing by herself, let her be happy. Help her by downloading and streaming. SWV is going on tour. Jodeci just announced their tour. They're bringing SWV and Drew Hill with them. I love all those groups, all of them. So, honey, I will buy my ticket and support. And so everybody go and support them, as well as Tamika, Tiny, and I. We got a gang of shows coming. You can see most of them on Ticketmaster right now. This weekend, I will be with Tamika and Tiny in Chicago, and I will also be in Detroit performing. So please come. Sean Graham says, because business can be so sensitive at times, and most people are not mature with addressing issues that they don't agree with. True that. I just want to send love to everybody. Thank God this show is over with, so everybody can stop being mad and taking sides. I want you to know that you do not have to pick sides. You can like both groups. It is fine. You just because y'all rock with Xscape don't mean you have to dislike SWV, vice versa. It is not personal. So much love to everybody. And make sure you go back and follow Tamika Scott's YouTube page. Follow my girl Tiny. She's starting her YouTube. And I'm definitely gonna get both of them to do a speak on it with me, all three of us together for next week. Seeing as though we won't have a TV episode, I still am gonna get them because I know you guys said we had to get Tamika on speak on it. So I'm gonna get her on here. And thanks. Let me see. It's so funny. Listen, here goes somebody again. I love somebody said I love both songs, but Weak is definitely bigger. Nobody ever said it wasn't. But when you come to that concert, they're gonna rock with both. And mind you, SWV, never mind. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Much love to everybody. Everybody, shout out to you. It's still some super chat left. Oh, Michelle Hardman says, will the group take action against Rocky? No, like we just move on. Bye. Oh no. Zelina, I don't want to be messy. Vernita Salton says, why has no one asked Tasha if she received her money? Asked her if she received what money? Are you talking about? I think everybody asked her about the money, right? And Scotty by Nature, shout out to you. Much love. Shout out to Tamara Kirks. And yeah, shout out to everybody that sent a super chat. I thank you. I appreciate you. And I got to get off the live now because my team is saying I better shut up. before I say anything else. So thank you for watching. And I definitely will post the song. I mean, I will get the song done so I can put it out there for y'all. All right, y'all. Love you. I got so much coming. So many great things coming soon. I hope you continue to rock with me and everybody else that was on the show. Love y'all. Bye.
It's for you, only for you. Oh no, it ain't nobody else's. No, it's for you, only for you. Oh no, it ain't nobody else's. No, oh no, it ain't nobody else's. It's just for you, and it don't matter if you're selfish. Just tell me what you want, I promise I'll listen. You're so deserving, come get all of these kisses. All of these kisses. Oh, it's for you, only for you. I'm not just talking, yes, I plan to show and prove. It brings me pleasure every time I'm pleasing you. Can't get no better, it's just better when it's you. It's for you, only for you. Oh no, it ain't nobody else's. No, it's for you, only for you. Oh no, it ain't nobody else's. No, oh no, it ain't nobody else's. I'm just addicted to the vibes and I can't help it. Before I met you, didn't know what I was missing. I'm here for you and everything that you're giving. We're so connected, anything you do will make me smile. You barely touch me and it drives me wild. When I see you, I'm gonna sit on top of you. Oh, I'm gonna sit on top of you. It's for you, only for you. Oh no, it ain't nobody else's. No, it's for you, only for you. Oh no, it ain't nobody else's. No.
On it.
Hello, I'm Candy. That's what I kept on saying not too long ago. It seems like I was living in the darkest hole. My sadness and my anger start to take control. I had a lot of stuff weighing on me, y'all. I shed a lot of tears that you didn't see, no. But I couldn't let grief consume me, 'cause I got a little girl depending on me. It can't rain forever, the sun's gotta shine again. I remember that old saying, so I kept praying, and you should do the same, my friend. I stay prayed up, that gets me by. That's how I made it through my darkest times. Yeah, I'm a sinner, and that's no lie. Thank God my prayers are heard, 'cause he knows I tried. Yeah, I stay prayed up. Yes, I stay prayed up. See, the only way I made it through my pain is through God's favor.
Why me, Lord?
Why me?
How am I supposed to raise these kids alone?
Kids alone.
I do the best I can to keep a happy home.
Happy home.
It's hard to do it now, my better half is gone. Prayed up.
Oh,
Yes, I stay prayed up. You see, the only way I made it through,
I made it through.
is through God's favor. Oh, I made it through because of God's favor.
Because of God's favor.